My coffee backstory, as I like to say, or what inspired me to get into the coffee business is actually, this answer is twofold. Number one, when I was a little kid, my third grade teacher would read Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when we would come in from playing at lunch. And she would have this enormous thermos, this chocolate brown and ivory plaid thermos with the cup that was also the top of the thermos. And she would drink this scalding hot black coffee while she was reading to us, about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie's Adventures at the Chocolate Factory. And so I just always associated that wonderful smell, those rich aromas of coffee, and then, the escape of listening to story time as a kid at a chocolate factory. And so I just always, that was kind of my very first, kind of awakening to coffee. Then, like most people, you get into college and you just, you have to drink coffee. And I loved the taste of it. I loved, of course, the smell. But then I realized that creating blends is a craft. And it immediately clicked with me when I began acting, or when I was interested in acting as a little girl. When I would see my mother on stage and backstage with Pearl Bailey, and they were doing this play called Hello, Dolly on Broadway. And when I would go and visit Mom at the theater on Broadway, or when she was on tour, I loved seeing the artisans, the craftsmen that were backstage creating the costumes and the sets and the wigs and the makeup and the props and all these different things. And I realized that that's what I loved about acting. And then as I would get older, what I loved about acting and writing and directing and being a storyteller, all of that was about crafting. And so cut to, right around the 90s, I'd gotten out of college. I had read Russell Simmons' book about being an entrepreneur. And I thought, yeah, that really makes sense for me. And I loved the coffee experience, meaning it just seemed like when people have a cup of coffee, it's usually such intimate moments. It's either waking up and starting your day, at work to get through your day, sometimes having a decaf at the end of the day, when you go and you're at a dinner or having a meal, and you have a coffee, or if you meet up for coffee. So it just always seemed like a wonderful experience that coffee was kind of the undertow, the underscore of a lot of different experiences. And conversely, difficult times or difficult conversations that people have over a cup of coffee or tea. But those were really the real entry points for me with coffee. And then also being a global citizen and a global brand, I really wanted to be in an industry that wrapped its arms around the global community. And, being able to do business, globally speaking, and to, we work with growers from over 36 countries and several continents. And so being able to participate with the global community on that level was also very important to me. For me, knowing that your product that the product can stand on its own. And when you're a celebrity entrepreneur, oftentimes, it's about, oh, this celebrity has this and people are interested because it's, one of their favorite celebrities. And for me, it's one of those where my product, if my name wasn't anywhere on it, the product stands on its own. And that's something that's very, very rewarding when people really make comments about how delicious, how rich it is, how they're not coffee drinkers and they love the coffee. Those are the things when people, because your product is, if you're the kind of entrepreneur where you're very passionate about it, your product is almost like your baby, or your services are like your babies. And so you have that pride when people say something or it resonates with them. I might have to get back to you on that. Not because there's so many, but because how I view challenges is I see them as just an opportunity to either do something different, an opportunity to level up what we're doing or to pivot. And you know, right now in this day and age with technology and social media, even things like getting your product to the marketplace, and overcoming the barriers to market. The competition, there's so much of a great landscape that there's almost room for everybody, you know. So I'm not really sure what to me is the most challenging for me is I never want to overwhelm my team. My brain is like, you know, a million miles an hour with what we can do. There are some things that, you know, we're a small business, and like most small businesses in this day and age, we started out as an online entity. And so when you talk about either brick and mortar or, you know, being in stores and things like that, there's certainly a lot of different components that come into play. So we're leveling up already for next year by expanding the format of our products. So people often ask for K-cups or single cups, single cup servings. They ask for the pillow pods. So there's different things that we do to expand not only our variety of flavors, but also the format that our brand or that our product comes in. So that's definitely one of the ways that we will take our business to the next level. We also started putting our toe in the water this year and a little bit last year with corporate and becoming kind of the official coffee of certain businesses and factories and warehouses and things of that nature. So leveling up in those areas. We're really excited about what's coming. And I just applaud any team, but especially my team, in terms of how you level up in the year that we've had. And so we've been effective and made an impact with our, we don't really call them customers or consumers, we call them our blended family. But also, again, in terms of brand recognition. And so those were things that we were doing this year to level up because we had to pivot, and being able to pivot in real time. You know, so much happened in real time in this year with the quarantine and the lockdowns, and being able to make adjustments. And, you know, you have one campaign that you're ready to rock and roll on, and then it's like, well, nobody's really commuting like that, because now the commute, instead of being on a freeway for 35 minutes, now you just walk down the hall in your socks. So being able to make those adjustments in real time has definitely helped us already take our business to the next level. Celebrities who think outside the box, of course, Jay-Z. Back in the day, certainly Russell Simmons, like I said, he was one of the first entrepreneur celebrity autobiographies that I read. That was just, I mean, that was like my, you know, my handbook kind of thing. Rihanna and what she and her team does is tremendous. Chip and Joanna Gaines, definitely, because basically, if you've noticed, the people that I've mentioned, they are very authentic, and so who they are as people kind of it kind of resonates and translates and extends into their brands and into who they are as entrepreneurs. And also, you know, the way that a team regards their team leader, it really speaks volumes. And so I really just applaud the leadership that they provide to their team members as well. We are looking into doing some things in terms of some mobile units, and that's all I can say about that. And then in store, also being the official coffee of certain companies or brands, certain lifestyle concepts that we would be the official hot beverage for. So that's all I can say about that. But that's where I'd like to see our brand. Also, I really love the idea of maintaining that intimate business environment, that small business environment. Even if you do grow to have several dozen team members, or hundreds, or thousands even, I would want us to still have that laser focus that we had when we first started back in 2018. That ability to pivot in real time. So I would want to maintain and nurture and cultivate who we've become as a small business as we may grow in numbers and in size and in dollars. Make sure you got a dope squad. Your team is everything. Even if it's you and one other person, or even if it's you wearing 5 different hats, make sure each time you put on a different hat, you are dope in that position. Because your team, your squad is everything. They're an extension of you. They are there to help you carry out your vision. Be sure it's people you can trust, that you can listen to. And sometimes it is like trying on some clothes. Oh, this is a good fit. This doesn't really fit. Oh, this was a good fit now, but my body changed. And so you don't fit like you used to. So you may have to make some adjustments. But making sure that your squad, making sure your team, don't just haul off and, bring somebody in because they're your cousin or they're your neighbor or they this, and they don't have any kind of skill set that's going to help you, or they don't have the ability to learn a skill set. And my mother told me this a long time ago. She said, you can't trust everybody with your dream. You can't tell everybody your dream, because even those people that think that they are helping you by trying to keep it real, you may not need that at that time. Sometimes keeping it real can be the very arsenic that somebody, even unintentionally, douses on your dream or on your spirit and ends up keeping you in a box. So just be mindful of who you're sharing your dream with, who you're sharing your vision with, and get you a dope squad. My team, they're the best. Sorry, can't have them. Understand that there is a cost to dream. There is a cost to dream. So being able to, sock away a little bit at a time, which I know may be incredibly difficult, if not impossible in your mind. But every little bit that you put away, $1 here, a couple of dollars there, $5 here, it definitely adds up, so that you look up and you go, wow, I can afford some of the basics that are the cost right out the gate. Protecting your name, if you have a logo, or if you have to get a logo, creating the website or your social media platforms, being able to trademark your tagline, whatever your product or services are. A lot of entrepreneurs, they'll tell you, because they start out in their kitchen or in their basement, or just finding a need that they had and filling it. But within that, just those little expenses to just, get you up and out there and going. So don't let that, jar you. Just be ready for it. Get ready for it by just putting a little bit away at a time. And understand that you have to have the fire in your belly, because there's really no such thing as an overnight sensation or an overnight success. You don't want to build your company, your brand, on sand. So you want a solid foundation. And that takes time, that takes perseverance, that takes patience, but it certainly takes that fire in your belly and that passion for what it is that you want to do, how you want to impact someone else with what you are bringing to the table. And have fun. Have fun.